Hi there, friends. It's Nina Marie. Thank you so much for joining me today. I'm really excited to have you here with me because I have a Slimline card project to share with you using the brand new February 2021 card kit from Simon Says Stamp. Now, in today's project, I wanted to share a technique with you. If you've watched any of my videos, you know how much I love dimension, how much I love to use foam tape and add so many depths and layers to my cards. But sometimes those cards can get a little bulky. I wanted to share a project today using stamps and stencils to create the look of dimension, but we're not going to have a ton of layers. So this creates some really nice depth for your card project, but it doesn't add the bulk. So I hope today's video is inspiring for you and also gives you some ideas on how you can use your stamps and stencils together to create some really cool layers. All right, so let's jump in. You're going to see here I have the Love You Very Much stamp set that's part of the kit and also the Tumbling Hearts stencil. I was trying to decide how I wanted to orient the stencil, which is of course 6x6, onto a slimline card panel. I love being creative with my stencils and trying to make them stretch across my different sized cards. So even though this is a smaller stencil, it will work on a slimline card. And that's because I'm going to do a technique of feathering with my blending. So I'm going to use my blending brushes and some Simon Says Stamp ink. I have Doll Pink, Teeny Bikini, and Duckling. As I'm blending, I'm feathering out the ink as it goes towards the edges, which means I'm basically concentrating most of the ink to the center and then making it super, super light as it goes out to the edge. When I remove the stencil, you'll see this very clearly. This is a great way to be able to use a smaller stencil onto your larger size cards because the pattern doesn't end up finishing and it creates this really nice glow in the center. And then of course you get to stretch your stencil. I'm going to further add some color to my panel here by also blending those same three colors across the background. This will soften the ink blending that we just did with the hearts, which is what I want. I want this to be a little bit more in the background and not quite so intense. So by adding a little bit of blending over top, this is really going to soften this out and really add some nice subtle texture to my background. So after I've blended those three colors down the panel, I'll set that aside so it can dry, and I'll move on to coloring the bear from that Love You Very Much stamp set. I think this bear is adorable, and I picked out a few pinks to color in the heart, and then I also used some E-markers to color in the bear himself. There's not a lot of different areas here to color, so the coloring was pretty simple and didn't take much time at all. I also used only about 3 shades per image, so that way I didn't have to worry about trying to blend a lot of colors. This is very simple and easy to do. You could even simplify this further by using less markers. So after I've colored in the bear, I'm also going to cut him out. Now there aren't any coordinating dies yet for this stamp set, so I will be using some fussy cut scissors to cut this image out. If you don't want to cut him out, you could of course just stamped him right onto your slimline card panel and left him like that. When I cut out with my fussy cut scissors, I do carefully turn the paper and not so much the scissors, so that way I get a cleaner cut. I also wanted to add some embellishment to the bear's heart, so I pulled out the Glossy Accents bottle that's in the kit and some Simon Says Stamp Unicorn Confetti Glitter. I love this chunky glitter. It's so pretty, and I love when I can use it onto my colored images like this. I like to sprinkle the glitter on rather than dump it because I can control exactly where it is and how heavy of an application I'm applying down onto my image. So it's just a little trick I like to use. So our slimline panel that we've done our ink blending on is dry, and it's time to start stamping. I'm going to start by first stamping my sentiment. And because I want this sentiment to be multiple colors, I decided to start masking off the stamp with some post-it notes so that I can add each word down in a different color. So I've mounted this panel into the corner of my MISTI so that way it's always in the same exact position as I stamp. And then of course my stamp is lined up on my MISTI tool so that it's centered up into the card. I use those same exact 3 colors that I did all of my ink blending with. So we've got Duckling, Teeny Bikini, and Doll Pink. I also used black for the word and And in some cases, I did also double stamp the image just to make sure I got a really nice, smooth, crisp impression. Like here when I did the dull pink ink, I wasn't quite totally happy with the application of ink. I was a little light-handed on the ink when the first stamping, so I just went back over and stamped it again a second time. All right, so our stamping for the sentiment is done, but now it's time to add some more layers. There's a little heart image in the Love You Very Much stamp set, so I'm going to use that to add some hearts that'll be more in the forefront of my card. These are going to stand out more than the hearts that are in the stenciling, the background, and that helps create some really nice depth. So we've got the depth of the hearts in the forefront, but then we've also got the depth of the hearts in the back. So that really creates some really nice dimension here with, of course, no layers. I will also add some cute little heart sequins that are from the sequin pack that's in the kit. I love these cute tiny little confetti hearts. They are, of course, a little bit hard to handle because they're so small, but if you want to go ahead and glue these down, I do love the effect that this gives. So I carefully went ahead and used the glossy accents to add little tiny dots of adhesive onto my card, and then I laid each heart over top of that. Now I also added little dots of glossy accents more for just a bubble effect, and that adds some nice depth to this card also. When this dries, these will be nice and clear and also dimensional on this card. And again, it's not creating a ton of bulk. The one little bit of bulk is the foam tape that I added onto the bear to pop him up, and then I added some foam tape onto my card panel, which will let me adhere this down onto my Slimline card. So this panel is just slightly smaller than a 3.5 by 8.5 inch card base, and so this will fit nicely into the Slimline envelope that I'm going to now decorate also. I love decorating my envelopes because this really complements my card. It finishes things off. It makes the card feel extra special because you've got this custom envelope when the recipient gets this. It's just a really nice little extra touch. So we're going to do that same ink blending that we did to create the background on our Slimline card, feathering out the ink as we go towards the edges, and we're using the exact same 3 colors. We're going to blend these 3 colors across the envelope and then lift off the stencil. This will have this beautiful stenciled pattern ready to go on our envelope, and we'll also add a little bit more ink blending over top of the hearts to again soften them. I really liked this effect. I thought this really complemented the card nicely, and it's just this quick and simple extra special touch. Didn't take more than an extra 10 minutes to be able to make this envelope, and I think it really makes the difference. So after I finished up the ink blending, I will also fill out this envelope along the right-hand side, that empty white space. That's where I'll fill out the address. And don't forget, anytime you're making a Slimline card, if it's not too bulky, you don't need any extra postage to mail this. This will take a regular postage stamp to be able to put this through the mail. So here's my finished off card and envelope. I love how they turned out. They're so much fun, and I loved being able to challenge myself to use less foam tape and to create some depth and dimension on my card by being creative with my stamps, stencils, and embellishments. So I hope you were inspired today. I hope you will try out this technique, try out the card kit. I think the kit is fantastic. It's filled with so many gorgeous products. I'm only scratching the surface with what's in this kit. So I hope you will check it out. You can either subscribe or purchase the kit at retail price. I have the links to the kit over at my blog or in the video description below. You can check it out all there. And I want to thank you again for watching my videos, subscribing to my channel if you're a subscriber. If you aren't a subscriber, I hope you will be one. I really appreciate all of the support and the watches that you give my videos. I enjoy creating them, and I hope you enjoy watching them as much as I do bringing the content to you. So thank you again. I will see you again very, very soon because I got 2 more videos coming at you over the next couple days. So I hope you will tune in to see those as well. Alrighty, I hope you all have a fabulous day. Bye!